So, I'm back with my guy, Kevin Whitey Gleason here to answer. How are you? Questions. I'm great. Thank you very much. I don't know what we can call this little show. Whitey. I know you already use Whitey in your house.
That's right. That's right. The backyard. Yeah.
Jay Woods and Whitey or something.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not sure. But I would like to pick your infinite knowledge of Kings and sports.
Yeah.
So,
you're excited about the start of the new season?
I am. I mean, I'm a big Kings fan. I've been a big Kings fan ever since they were in the short shorts and the light.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since they first got here. I was a young guy, but that's kind of when I was getting into basketball. So I'm excited about every year that comes up. I'm always, this time, preseason, is kind of when I start getting into it, moving from the other sports, kind of paying attention to the league. And I don't know, this year, a couple of preseason games kind of had me down just a little bit. So I'm just.
They got Russ now.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. And that is one of my questions I have. Since you bring up Russ, what do you think Russ kind of brings to the Kings? Do you think he will actually be able to help them out, help them win games?
For me personally, the whole thing is a little bit confusing, just unclear. A team that we think is supposed to be getting younger, brings in a guy in his 18th year. But the only thing we know for sure, and Scott Perry's mentioned this, he plays really hard. That's one thing for sure about Russell Westbrook. He's a little volatile in some ways, especially later in his career. I'm not talking about his personality, I'm talking about the way he plays. But the one thing you know for sure, the one constant is he plays hard. So I think that's what he brings. He sets the tone for not just the young guys. I think we've all been assuming that he's going to set the example for the young guys. That's true. But I think even some of the veterans that are around, I think he's going to also remind them that, hey, I'm setting the standard for all of us young players and veterans. So my guess is that's what he brings.
Maybe he'll light a fire under the maybe guys. I like it.
Can I say?
Maybe I can cut that out.
Yeah. It's your show. You can do it.
Yeah.
No.
Conversation right now. But he's a scoring champ in the past. MVP candidate. Did he ever win?
Yeah.
He did.
When he averaged triple double.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So he was a great player to the Kings. I mean, as a backup, he can't hurt as a backup. I did see on the internet they showed a picture of his hand and his knuckles. And it looks like his knuckles were kind of messed up.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it was just a random picture I caught on the internet. Like they were showing pictures of his knuckles. They were just like all jacked up. Maybe look out for that. I don't know if he has any issues with his hands or anything like that, but I did see that. Kind of made me wonder if that was maybe why some people kind of
He's my personal person. You mentioned him as a backup, and certainly that appears to be a plan. But can't help but notice in the preseason, Schroeder has not played very well, and he probably would turn on around. But if he doesn't, I don't know how much longer Russ will be backing him up. That's something we will know for at least a couple of weeks.
That's true. And I'm hoping Schroeder is kind of taking a break.
Yeah.
Preseason.
I already played in Eurobasket.
He's been playing all year round. Yeah, so he might be taking a break. I'm hoping that. The combination between those two point guard. I know one thing about the Schroeder, he's a great pick and roll match. And that's kind of what the goal is to be point guard. And that's one of the things I really like.
I would say it's one of the highlights of my career. On B Day, we got to go to the Schroeder. And I'm part German, and for some reason, when I was in middle school, fourth or fifth grade, where I went to school, they taught us German. And so I always had a little, not much knowledge, but a little, fourth or fifth grade, I don't know why. But when we interviewed with Cal Grape, when I interviewed with Schroeder, I got to try a little bit out. He was like, that's pretty good. He's German. So.
And the first time I heard him speak was this offseason, and I was like, whoa. He really is a human.
Yeah.
Kind of stuck with myself. His name, I was like, okay, white, name Floater, and now I know he's from Jackson.
Yeah, got that. Those two dots over the O. It's called a umlaut.
Right,
And when
right.
you hear that's like,
Right, that's not really English
Yeah.
grammar,
right.
All right, so there's been a lot of talk about fit and position. Will this guy fit in this position? Will that guy fit with Sabonis? What do you think about the fit and the possible chemistry or lack thereof of the team so far?
The problem is they're supposed to defend. That's what Doug Christie says is demanding. Is a high level of defense and defensive intensity, and they have too many guys that aren't good defenders. The only thing that makes sense out of that is they're assuming they want to establish this, and maybe the system that they're installing is going to be here even when some of the players aren't. But that's just not a great fit. You want to play this way, and I think they have a handful of guys that just have never played that way, and they have capable of playing that way. The other thing that stands out as far as fit not being ideal is you're really thin in the front court, and then Teagan's injury only anything exacerbates that. So right now they're struggling to figure out who's going to be the four. Maybe DeMar DeRozan slides down to the four. I know that's been mentioned, and that's not what he does very well now. So those are the couple of things that, as I look at, I say that's just not an ideal fit, and I'm not sure what the solution to that is. And again, it's another thing we'll have to see in the next few weeks. How do they start the season? Are they going to change some of their plans, or are guys going to figure out a way to get that done? I'm skeptical, but we'll see.
Yeah, and a lot of people have talked about moving Sabonis to the four and maybe trying out a bench center. How do you feel about that? Or Sabonis playing the four?
Maxime Reynaud is the type of center, or projects to be the type of center, that has some range on a three ball. And most people think if Sabonis is going to play with another big, it would ideally be somebody who stretches the floor. So maybe that's something that down the road as Maxime Reynaud develops more, maybe that's something that it would make sense if Sabonis were able to slide the floor. I don't know that he likes playing the four as much as center, and also he would have issues with some of the guys who got the guard more on the open floor, especially when he's guarding stretch for which by the time. I think it would be great if they're able to do it, but again, it's tricky because he's not a great defender.
Yeah, and I kind of like what Kyle Ledner said. He is a big and he's tall. So I thought that was good when we had Valanciunas. I thought we were kind of able to play those two together. Again, I mean, you're not really able to just throw those guys. They're kind of a big, type guy. And then, Sabonis is considered a tall, but almost could see, like you said, Sabonis with Reynaud. Maybe a little bit taller, and he can stretch.
He can, in theory, yeah. I think he needs to get acclimated to the NBA. Worry about getting foul trouble. That's okay. He's a promising player. Clippers going to play a lot, and I think they'd love for Maxime Reynaud to get to the point like the season is able to play on. But we'll just have to see how long it takes him to get ready.
Yeah. I really like these Clippers. He's really good for fast. He gets up there. He moves like a it seems like
So do you, by the way.
What was that?
So do you. Very athletic.
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
I used to play a lot of basketball. I a little athletic.
Well, that's surprising.
Not anymore. Don't play. I haven't really played some coach.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I used to play a lot. I used to play outdoors and stuff like that. Since COVID happened, I stopped playing around before I was kind of scared.
Oh, yeah, that's a good way to catch COVID.
Yeah.
Unless you play defense like the Kings do.
And then you're 6 feet away. Right.
Yeah.
right. Exactly. But no, I haven't played with them in a while.
I used to play. I haven't played in a while. Fun game. Good game. Brutal game as you get older. You play pickup.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's not that good for you because there's so many things that can snap.
Right.
But it's just so much fun.
Yeah, it is. I used to play a lot outdoors. It's not good.
Right.
My win, I haven't caught my win. But I would like to, honestly, I would like to be back out there and play the whole thing.
We got to get a media team together to play the Kings coaches.
Like, that would be so
Celtics media.
I would love that. I would actually love that. I'd have to get back in the shape.
Oh, yeah.
Run a mile, But that would be fun. That would be super fun, actually. I would love it. Okay, so I have a few more questions here. Right now, who do you think is the King alpha dog?
Depends how you look at it. I think before it clearly was De'Aaron Fox. Now, in some ways, I think it's Tomas. I think on the floor in the half court, I think it's going to be Zach. Schroeder as a point guard. Sometimes he's guilty of alpha dog. So think that's one of the things they have to sort out. I think ideally, Zach Levine is going to establish himself clearly as their best player. And I think for them to be as good as they can be this year, he's going to have to average, 27 or more points per game. If that happens, I think he would kind of naturally become their best player in that sense.
Like, probably.
He better. If he's not, I think they got a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's probably the closest thing to the face of the franchise.
Honest, yeah. Between those two, I don't know. I feel like they kind of didn't figure it out. I feel like Levine has a lot of the qualities that Fox had, minus like the ball.
Yeah. He's a better shooter.
Yeah.
Way better shooter. Yeah. But he's not anything close to anything like that.
Right. It's kind of like all right. Let's see.
Very athletic. That's what I think he's good. It just seems like some of these younger teams, it's clear. The Kings, they have a few guys like that. They'll do all the roster.
Yeah, definitely need more.
Yeah.
We need more guys like him.
Yeah.
I remember when he won that dunk.
Oh, against Aaron Gordon.
Woo!
Yeah.
Super hot. Great.
Schroeder. Yeah.
English pronounced.
Yeah. It's spelled Schroeder, but yeah, with the umlaut.
Or German.
Yeah. That's just
All right. Obviously, Keegan Murray has the first team, but they don't have much guys like there. Kind of a sidebar, but I have. Do you think Keegan Murray is developing the way or do you think this season is going to be like really telling season? Yeah. And the reason why I say that is because the Kings just kind of not rebuilding, like kind of trying to add to the roster, trying to see if they can get to the playoffs. At some point, if this doesn't work, though, I can see the team going as far as what if, say, the team decided to move on? They can get a lot of things. They can probably even more first round picks. And even trying to have time there. They decide if this is working. Do you think Keegan Murray's like his long-term plan, like develop the right way?
I think the fact that they just signed him for 1.45 so that they definitely see him as a piece going forward. That can just change. He can change the way he feels about things. They can change. But right now, they see him as a piece. I think it's a good signing. I think that, as you said, he's exactly what they don't have enough of. As far as his development, he's improved as a rebounder and a defender. His shooting last year started off really poorly, and then he brought it back around. His shooting has been a little bit trending down, but he's still a very good three-point shooter. The tricky thing with him and his development is he shows glimpses of being such a good offensive player, but on this roster, he doesn't get used very often. His usage rate is low, and then you get into the conundrum, the whole question. Well, is that because he just doesn't have the shots in his offense available to him, or does he need to be, a little more forceful, a little more aggressive when it comes back? It's a good question. I think he's a great fit for the team, and I'm pleased that they signed him. I think in a couple of years, like you said, we'll see where things are, maybe things change. But he's exactly what he's like.
Yeah. Sometimes Keegan frustrates me just a little bit. I would like to see use a little bit more of that athleticism, maybe drive the basket a little bit more. But I do see Clifford going those sort of things more aggressive towards the practice.
I think Mike Brown had a few of some of that. We saw him have some success with that. So, there's just so many different layers to it. He certainly can do it. I think we've seen a few clips of him in the preseason. Right on her. Wouldn't shoot the ball well in the preseason. They got hurt. So, can't come to a conclusion from that. But I'm with you. Yeah, he can stand to be more aggressive. I do still think that there's a lot of upside with him. I think he's a really good, solid player. And I think he can become an even better player. I was doing an interview last year before a Spurs game with Sean Elliott, and I mentioned to Sean Elliott, and I thought, I think he is kind of like you. And he said, oh, he's a better shooter than I was. But he was flattered by that. But
he is a lot like Sean Elliott. I remember Sean Elliott.
Yeah. I think that's the floor for him. I think he can be better. Sean Elliott's a really good player.
Right.
So to me, that's the type of player. Even if Keegan doesn't ever become that really assertive offensive player, I think he's a really solid player.
Yeah. So you don't think like him not going to the basket and things like that?
I don't think it has been yet. It's certainly something where there's room for growth. It's difficult on this roster. It's just so frustrating to have those moments of nights on and it's like, what happened? It's a mystery, right? It's kind of a head scratcher. But I still believe it.
How do you feel overall about the Western Conference? Does it intimidate you?
The Kings don't have a chance. I mean, to me, it's not even a matter of intimidation. It's just, things can always happen that are unforeseen. But I think Minnesota's going to be great. Oklahoma City already is great. I think Denver has the best chance to seed Oklahoma City. And to me, those three teams, along with some others, are just kind of shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, right. And I think the Kings realize that. I don't think anybody with the Kings is talking about, we're going to win the West this year. Yeah. If they were somehow to get into the top six, then we have to build a statue of Doug Christie.
So that would be kind of amazing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Take down that piglet monstrosity, put up a statue of Doug Christie and Scott Perry. Yeah. So, maybe they get in the playoffs, maybe they'll play in, but maybe it's possible, it's unlikely they win, 47 and they get into the top six. I don't see that. But yeah, as far as the really realistic chances of doing much in the West, it doesn't seem to be much.
And just watching them play the Clippers, and just to see how the
Clippers are good.
How much better they got since last year.
Right.
They signed Collins and they signed a couple other guys, and I'm like, damn, the Clippers were about our level last year, and now they're like, they're just kicking our ass.
They just have so many older guys. It's hard to imagine that come playoff time, they're going to have enough people healthy. But if they do, they're
have some former All-Stars, right? They have a bunch of former All-Stars. They're a lot better than they were last year, and it seems like a lot of the Western Conference teams have gotten that. So I'm like, the Kings are always in this Western Conference uphill battle.
Right. That's an important thing to remember, an important way to look at it. You look at your team in a vacuum sometimes. The Kings had a shooter. They're better. Yeah, but look what everybody else. I'm sure the Kings are better than they were last year in theory, but other teams do a lot more than that. So, and I think that a lot of fans are kind of noticing that, asking, Scott Perry, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
All right, so I'm going to make a hard shift here. We're going to shift over to football real quick. Okay. My favorite team, the 49ers. Are you a 49ers?
Yeah, sure. I used to cover the Blue Wall Street.
Okay, that was a good team. It was pretty good.
They were pretty good.
We had a lot of branches there.
Coaching tree, yeah.
All right, so how do you think the San Francisco 49ers will fare for the rest of this season with all of these games?
To me, as advanced as Kyle Shanahan's offense is, good reason how creative he is offensively. But it boils down to this with the 49ers, and always has. It boils down to this as always. You run the ball and you stop it. That's what everything's based on. You run the ball and you stop it. This year they can't run the ball and they haven't stopped the run. So unless they figure something out, it's hard for me to imagine that continuing the success they've had. To their credit, they've figured things out at this point. But Warner, Wilson's already out. The only thing that makes sense to me is unless you bring in some people to trade that bolster real defensive reinforcements in there, I think the offense is going to have to get healthy enough where they start carrying the defense. A lot of times this season, for me, the defense is carrying the offense. Injuries to wide receivers, your tight end, your quarterbacks. But now the defense, especially being as young as it is, I think they're kind of compromised. They're going to need the offense to kind of find its stride a little bit, maybe start running the ball, because if the offense doesn't carry the defense, I think they'll have a hard time getting 10 wins.
I agree with you. I feel like playing with somebody kind of play different hard. They 49ers kind of ran out of luck.
Yeah. Defense looked just more down.
Yeah. So it's going to be, I think, pretty difficult for the team. They are getting operating.
George Kittle.
George Kittle, Kerry Kittle is the whole basketball.
They get Kerry Kittle.
You might be able to dog.
They're in more trouble.
Right. But yeah, no, George Kittle, yeah, they're supposed to be coming back. Hopefully that's a tough one off. I'm going to ask you one more question, Whitey.
All right.
Just because I need to throw up against it a little bit. Do you think the 49ers have a chance to make the playoffs? Do you think they have a chance at all?
That would be wonderful, but I don't see them making that. The Super Bowl, unless again, maybe they find a way to make a big trade or two, and maybe that changes the outcome. Playoffs, they got a shot here, like I said, if they can figure out a few things, because they're at 4 wins now. I think 10 probably gets you in, and they do still have some soft spots on the schedule. So I'd say playoffs, pretty good chance. Super Bowl, I don't think so. But the other thing is about the schedule. Some of the teams on the schedule that looked so easy before the season started, now they're looking a little more formidable. Like, Colts. They have the Colts there towards the end of the year. When the schedule came out, I was like, well, I don't know. Even the Giants. The Bears are on there.
Cincinnati looked great.
Yeah. They have the Falcons coming up Monday. That looked like the Falcons just played great last Monday. Beat Buffalo. So the schedule is still kind of friendly, but right now to me it doesn't look as friendly as it did before the season started.
Yeah. I agree. It's really hard to beat for them to make the playoffs. They'll probably get there.
Have you been to the new stadium?
Yeah. I usually try to get to one game here. Not this year, but I've been there. I like it. It's kind of weird shape. Kind of a weird location.
Yeah. The Chiefs did not have much of an atmosphere when they opened, but then once they started winning, I think wow.
Definitely. Yeah. It has to look good.
Yeah.
But I want to say I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for joining me. We'll talk again.
I look forward to it.